this evening, guys, we're going to be testing the Liberty Ammunition Civil Defense. This round has one of the deepest hollow points I have ever seen in it. And the reason it does is because it's 78 grains. This thing is supposed to fragmentate the minute it hits, apparently. This thing is rated at 1900 feet per second. And of course, I'm going to check that out in my chronograph to see how close they are. I'm going to be using a 5-inch 1911 today to check this out in the 4 layers of denim through calibrated gel. How about through denim into calibrated gel? That would make more sense, wouldn't it now? Once again, Liberty Ammunition Civil Defense. Let's check this out. 45 ACP, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to try that 78 grain. If there was ever a flying ashtray, this is it. Civil Defense, 45 ACP. Very light round. Definitely going to be wanting to find out what happens here. So let's check it out together, guys. 78 grain. Well, let's find out. Something tells me it's going to be very loud. Well, that was pretty damn impressive. I cut that a certain way on purpose. Let's check out what happened here. Hey guys, here's that 74 grain Civil Defense. I cross-cut this gel on purpose because I wanted to see it, how it went through. So it took a second there. For you guys, it took a split second. But you guys can see entry right here. And of course, that piece hit the deck. But what you guys aren't seeing is when you flip this down, look at that devastation right there. It just blew apart. Look at that. Just blew a big old bunghole looking thing. I'll go ahead and say it because I know everybody's thinking it. In there. Just grenaded apart. So let me get rid of that piece. First thing we notice on the table there, that's a piece of the jacket. Right there. There's one piece right there. We go into the second block. Make sure you guys can still see this. Some bluish color, we'll consider that denim at this point, grenaded along with it, and it looks like it liquefied the denim because that's some pale looking denim. But what we can see down in there is there's another piece of the jacket, and it looks like another piece went up through here. Oh, looks like that one exited. This thing just kind of star grenaded, kind of a star effect as it went down through there. Let me remove this piece. Now we're into the third section. In the back side of that, there's some more of that star effect. There's another piece. And there's the end result of that block. But what you notice going in to this piece is all you see is a nice little streamlined hole. But it's angled downward. You guys see there, it's going down this way. You flip that over, now all of a sudden it's coming out up top here. Let me remove this piece. Then as you guys look into this final block, you guys will see that it's going up again now. It's going upward. And it goes upward to its resting spot. And what is that thing looking in there? It looks like a dime or something. Well, let's get that up out of there. That's all that's left of this round. That is the base of the round. The whole flying ashtray, this would be the bottom part of the hollow point. All of the other stuff grenaded off in that star effect. So 74 grain, I don't know what this weighs. We'll get some kind of weights and measurements to post all these frags. And this bottom cup. This bottom cup is the only solid piece. Everything else exploded in. And you're going to wonder, you know, what was total penetration? Well, total penetration would have been right at about 11.5 inches. But that's the only thing that went 11.5 inches. If you measure the first star effect, that's only 3.5 inches. And then this did its own little up and down thing until it finally came to rest just right up there. So, weird round, guys. Looks like it could be pretty devastating. Really don't have a side cut. I wanted to cut it this way. Fired one of these before, and I knew it would do some wicked stuff. So, wicked round, Civil Defense, 74 grain, featherweight, 45 ACP. I'll get some kind of post on this, guys. You guys have a good one. Okay, guys, we're at the post of that Liberty Civil Defense 74 grain hauling ass little round, 1900 feet per second average. We'll talk about that here in a minute, what we got. This thing just grenaded as soon as it went in. I mean, the first 3.5 inches, it just blew apart, starred out. All these little pieces just come flying out in the first 3.5 inches of the media. You guys seen that? I cut that media a certain way so we could see cross sections of this instead of doing a straight down wound track like we usually do. It was pretty wicked. I mean, and in the second 3.5 inches, all it was just more of the petals that just flew out of the media. This is what I've recovered. And of course, there's that base cup that I talk about in the video there. Pretty wicked, actually. And then pretty much what happened after that. Basically what happened after about 6 inches of media, really it was the first 3.5 was the most dramatic, let's put it that way. That would be how wide that wound track was, by the way. Also, I'll show that in the video too. It was pretty devastating, about that wide, where this stuff just blew out, just blew a big bunghole looking thing right out of the back side of that. And then the second section, it was just more of the petals, not as dramatic. It didn't blow away tissue or media as we would call it in this test. And then of course the base cup itself, the little battery looking thing or dime looking thing, whatever you want to call it, it's the base cup is what it is. That went ahead and went down to 11.5 inches penetration. For remember, it went up, down, and up again. So it's doing some wicked little, streamline, and I wouldn't really call it streamline. It's doing a little roller coaster effect through the media. So you got to remember, that's going to be tearing up stuff if it's going through a body, by the way. So, just because it only went 11.5 inches doesn't mean it's not doing what it's designed to do. This is designed to explode when it hits, and it did that. The first 3.5 inches of media just blew up like a grenade. And then, of course, the base cup streamlines into the media for deep penetration. Yes, 11.5 inches isn't deep penetration. You get a heart shot on something with this, they're done. You get a back shot on somebody with this, they're done. So it has its place. It's not the typical hollow point, bonded hollow point. It's not going to mushroom back. It wasn't designed to mushroom back. So don't think of this round as a typical round, because it's not. This thing has a huge ass hollow point in it. Of course, it's only 74 grain. It's massive. I'll get better pictures of that. And I think I did say at the very beginning it was 78 grain. It's not, it's 74. I'll show you guys the box on some of that too. One thing we did do, the base cup itself, the recovered base cup here, I'll throw that up there. It was 43 on recovered weight there. And then of course, with what I recovered, I didn't recover everything, but if you count what I did recover, what did stay into the media, it was 64.6. And then the base cup, I mean, there's really not going to be an expansion thing here. If you look at total expansion, it's going to be the wound track, where it blew out that first 3.5 inches, which was exactly 3.5 inches. It blew out. Actually, it would have been more if there would have been more media there to see. That big old hole that it put in the back side was 3.5 inches. If we're just going to measure this, this isn't expansion. This is just recovered base cup. Recovered base cup is 0.457. Well, that's what 45 ACP is generally to begin with. A little bit bigger because of the rough edges there. It's usually, 4.52, stuff like that. Pretty damn good round, really. I was kind of, impressed with what it did. I didn't think it was going to, have any kind of deep penetration like, we do with all of our regular stuff. 74 grain, especially hauling at 1900 feet per second. I'll put our average up there, right there. It was 1860. I did get 1904 in one of the 5 shots. That was my only one over 1900. Actually, it was the first shot. Interesting enough that it was the first shot on a cold barrel. The rest of the shots were high 18. My low was 1819. So that's a big deviation spread there. But they all went bang, and this round was actually pretty accurate. I did test this at, like 50 yards, and I was hitting a gong. And then I did some sandbag testing at 25, and this stuff actually, I was surprised out of a 5-inch that something that light hauling that fast. I thought it was going to be a very low round. It wasn't. It was pretty much point of aim the whole way. I was actually really surprised about that. But once again, guys, Civil Defense 74 grain flying ashtray shot out of a 5-inch 1911 You guys see it right there. Got them loaded up. Don't think I'm going to carry this, guys, but hey, it was worth the test. I see this stuff out there. When the crunch hit, this came out, and a lot of people might be carrying this, so you got to understand what it does. It's not going to have deep penetration, so as long as you guys understand what this round does and you know what its potential is, you can carry it